You know, those nicknames are also one form of an IP because they are not any random names. You apply your imagination. With that imagination, and also some character of the particular person is linked, and you coin a name which correlates the particular person's appearance or attitude, which is your own creativity. That nickname is a form of IP. So you are already, you have been introduced to IP, but not knowing it is an IP. My role here is to tell you how are we going to harness this IP in our engineering domain and utilize it for our benefit as well as the benefit of the society at large. Fine. I'll give you one case lab before entering into the particular session so that it will give you a base for understanding the topic. It all happened some 20 years back when I was fresh out of college. At that time, my brother's son, he was a day scholar, he was a first year student, going to college, and every day morning, the bus, college bus, was supposed to pick him up by 8 o'clock at the bus stop. But you know, the traffic scenario in our city has never allowed the bus to come by 8 o'clock. Some days it come by 8:10, some days by 8:15, and depends. So one fine day, my brother son told me, Uncle, every day morning, at least 15-20 minutes, I waste by standing in the bus stop and staring at the road. It's not a one-day problem, it's a routine problem. You being an engineer, why don't you propose me a solution so that I will not face these precious moments every day morning? Okay, I thought this is a issue to be thought of. So, you know, 20 years back, GPS or Androids were not as developed as they are today. They were all at their nascent stages. So what I did is that went to the institute, spoke to the management, and got permission to install a GPS tracker in the bus that is coming to that particular bus stop and a corresponding transmitter. For the transmitter and the GPS tracker, I need to have a GPS receiver. And to integrate all these three aspects, I also needed an application. So the mobile phone at that time was designed by me to install this application and coordinate with the transmitter of the bus. And I gave this particular instrument to him, telling him from now onwards, you could real-time track the location of the bus. And by the moment the bus reaches around 50 meters of the bus stop, you could start from your home and you could board the bus. So now tell me, there was a problem, real-time problem. And to this problem, I applied my engineering concept and came out with a system. The system is made up of a GPS tracker, a transmitter, a corresponding receiver at my hand, and an application to coordinate all these three devices. This system, or I can say property, from where has this property come? Is this come by the application of my intellect? So a property that has been designed, that has been obtained by the application of my intellect is called intellectual property. To put things as simple as possible. Fine. Now what happened is that every day my son started using this particular device, and he would go to the bus stop by the time the bus arrives there. And his friends who are waiting in the same bus stop noticed it, and they asked him, how is it possible that you alone come exactly at the same time the bus arrives? To which he disclosed this particular system. And don't you think that all his friends would also want such a device with them? Now tell me, could my son share this particular device with his friends? If he shares, what would happen? With respect to our engineering innovations, there lies one imbibed drawback. All engineering innovations are easily re-engineered. Such re-engineered products are better in quality as well as cheaper in price. So what happens is that one day or the other, this device which I have innovated will be re-engineered, and a better and cheaper product will be appearing in the market. And slowly, my device will lose its fancy. If such things happen, do you think that I will have further motivations to come out with much innovations? And if my, as an innovator, if my enthusiasm, my R&D is being killed, is it good for the society? In both ways, it is not good. So the Union government has come out with one option to protect all your research and innovation from being re-engineered, fraudulence, and duplicated. There comes the intellectual property right tools to protect your IP. Fine. Suppose I purchase a piece of land, maybe next to my college. So the next step, what I do here is go and register that particular land on my name at the sub-register office. So land is a property. If this property has to be protected, it has to be registered. To register, I need to go to a specific office, the sub-register office. Similarly, if I purchase a two-wheeler, again, I need to go and register it. But to register a two-wheeler, do I go to the sub-register office? No. I need to go approach the RTO office. So every property, if it has to be protected, it has to be taken to a respective office. Similarly, this IPR, intellectual property, is also an intangible property. And to protect this intangible property, we need to approach this respective offices. And to protect intellectual property, there are almost 8 tools available. Right from patents, trademarks, GI, copyright, industrial designs, trade secrets, integrated circuit, layout protection, and plant variety protection. There are 8 IPR tools available. Out of these 8 tools, as an engineer, I will suggest only 4: patents, designs, trademarks, and copyright to be of utmost importance. Let us not worry about the other. In this session, I will have a bird's eye view of these 4 IPR tools, and I will also tell you how these 4 tools are going to be of use in protecting your research work for your benefit as well as the benefit of the society at large. What we could see in the screen here is a basic model mobile phone, which is not available in the market today. But such phones are also protected. You look around, every engineering innovations, every engineering product, you look around, you find every engineering innovations, they will be protected by at least 4 IP tools by the respective companies. The working mechanism in this phone, right from the conversion of this voice signal to electrical signal, it's in then the transmission, decoding, decryption, everything that is happening inside the mobile phone for transmitting our voice is protected through patent. And you see the arrangement of the keypads on the phone. This is called the B.Tech keypad. Is it not? But there is one minor drawback with this keypad arrangement. You know what? It's not easy to type the email or SMS with this sort of a keypads, because every button has got 4 characters in one, and if by mistake I press something else, then I have to start from the beginning. So typing an SMS or an email is a biggest drawback with this particular keypad. So what was the alternative solution provided? BlackBerry came with QWERTY model keypad, wherein every character was given one particular button. Now tell me, as the technology changed, you press a button, a particular character appears. That's the technology. But what has changed here? It's only the arrangement of the buttons on the surface of the phone has changed. So the technology has not changed, but only the arrangement, the surface of the phone has changed. But still, it is an innovation, a different sort of an innovation. This sort of innovation that is appearing on the surface of any product is protected by a design. And you see here, in the top of the mobile phone, you see the letter M, which by itself states it's a company Motorola. The product is from the company Motorola. Around the world, you have only one company with the terminology Motorola. What if I open one mobile manufacturing company nearby and name it as Motorola? Am I permitted to do that? Absolutely not. If I do that, I will be taken to prison by the Motorola company, because the term Motorola was registered under trademark by the particular firm around the world. So if I misuse the term Motorola, then they will take action against me and put me in jail. So trademarks, the logos, the names coined by the particular company to establish their brand is protected by trademark. And every product comes with a manual, which manual states how better we should use the particular product for getting the optimum benefit out of it, optimum working conditions out of it. And these working manuals are all tailor-made by the R&D people of a particular firm, tailor-made for that particular product alone. Which manual is the form of literary work protected by copyright. So you see, a simple engineering product wherein 4 IP tools are coming into picture, and these 4 tools protect this particular engineering product in its entirety. Every organization who are involved in R&D, before they introduce any product into the market, they will do this as their first aspect. Protect their innovations under as many possible IPR tools before introducing into the market, so that no one can re-engineer or duplicate their product. And if at all someone does this duplications or re-engineering, they will be taken into legal actions. If no such IPR are available, then the companies are left with no options but to simply see a spectator. You people were also involved in research. Some are here research scholars, maybe some after your UG, you go for a PG, then PhDs, wherein all your research works can be a source for your own livelihood. And if such research works are not protected through IPR, then it is like putting a piece of jewelry on the open land, which you should not allow. Now we will move into the intricacies of the patent system. So as we have seen earlier, patent protects engineering innovations. Every research work that you do here, and if there occurs an innovation out of your research work, then it is patent that we have to consider. So patent is protection offered by the Union government to you, the researcher, for a period of 20 years. In these 20 years, for the technology that you have developed, you are the sole owner. No one else can take ownership of it. And if some person want to utilize this technology, then they have to approach you, get your permission, and then only they can utilize this particular technology that you have innovated. And to get a patent, we check minimum 3 criteria as a novelty, inventive, and industrial applicability in your innovation. If these 3 criteria are met in your innovation, we grant the patent. To which, what should you do? Only requirement from your side is to give us a complete disclosure of what your research work is. Where have you started? What was the problem lying behind that? What were all the approaches you did in attaining a solution? And also give us the complete A to Z technologies, processes, methodologies that you found out in coming out the solution to the problem that you have worked upon. This is what you need to give us, so that we will read through it, understand what your innovation is. We will make these 3 checks on your innovation, and if your innovation satisfies these 3 checks, patent will be granted. At the end of the day, if someone says that I have got a patent, this is what is issued, a certificate. I think you could see on the screen with the Union government's emblem there. And also, uh, the fourth line, you could see patentee. That is the place where your name will appear. Actually, this certificate is awarded to a German company. So the German company's name is there. Actually, if you file your own application for a patent for your research work, then in the column of patentee, your name will appear. And the next paragraphs, you could see that it is hereby certified the patent has been granted to the patentee. Patentee is you for an invention title, and the next 3 or 4 lines is the title of your invention. As discussed in the above mentioned application for a period of 20 years. So this is what you ultimately get at the end of the day as a patent. This certificate is valid for 20 years. Right. And some say, sir, I am not in the research at this stage. Then is this system be of any use to me? Yes. Final year UG people, final year PG people, they all do, even PhD people all do research. We say, do not reinvent the wheel. Before starting your research, the first 1.5 years you spend in problem identification. After identifying the problem, the next 2.5 to 3 years, you work on the problem and come out with a viable solution. What if at the end of the third or fourth year, when you are presenting your paper to the panel, and if the panel says, this solution is already available in the art, why did you spend your 3 years in coming out with the same research that is already existing? So you will be put at a big issue. So we say that before starting your research work, analyze the patent database. Find out all the possible solutions for the problem that you have identified, so that you do not reinvent the wheel. Also, the patent database is the one that is abreast with the latest technology. You might ask me, why not the journals, why not the conferences? Even there, I could see so many engineering innovations being published. How could you say that only the patent database is abreast? Why? Because every R&D organization, if they come out with an innovative product, they will not publish their innovations in journals or conferences. Why? Because it is an open domain. If those organizations are presenting their technical know-how on such open domains, it is anyone can place it or misuse it for some. See, it's not fair for the companies. They have spent lots of time and money in coming out with such research work, with such innovations, and they will not be in a position to easily throw it out on the open forum. What they usually do is that file for a patent. Once it is filed for a patent, the patent officers will publish it in the patent journal. So the R&D companies have two advantages. One, it gets published, it gets advertised. Second, it is not an open publication. It is a restricted publication stating that so and so person has innovated it and he has filed for a patent protection. So this innovated work is for that particular person alone. And this publication is to just show you that so and so technologies are being developed. And if you are interested in acquiring such technologies, contact the respective person. This is what the patent publications are imbibed. So it's not like journal publications where it is very open. Patent publications are giving the meaning that it is by the respective person, and if anyone else is interested, they should approach the respective person to get the legal permission in utilizing it. Also, see, not all innovations are coming straight out of the sky. Most of the innovations are what I could say is that mere improvements from what is already existing. So if see, maybe I have a pen. The pen is not properly closing. So some issue with the cap. So I take this cap, I analyze the cap, I find some problem with the cap, and I come out with a new version of the cap. So now this cap is an improvised version of the existing cap of the pen. What happens here is that maybe this existing version is also patent protected by some other person, to which if I want to manufacture my cap, it cannot be utilized without the permission of the already patent protected permission of the patent protected person. So if you are a startup and if you are coming out with some innovations, and if you want to manufacture the particular product, make sure that this product that you are manufacturing is not infringing upon any other patent that is already existing. If for that purpose, you should look into the patent database. And finally, I showed you the patent certificate. Tell me, how many people own such a certificate in India, at least from the engineering graduates? Very limited number. If you own such a certificate along with your engineering degree, and if you present it in front of any placements, then don't you think that such organizations who have come for placements give you special importance? Doesn't that give you achievement? And as in this patent certificate does not act as an indicator of achievement for you. So there are so many aspects in getting your research work being protected through IPR. And now people generally ask me, is my domain, I am from this particular field of engineering, I am from that particular field of engineering, will this also become eligible for patent protection? Every field of engineering, you name it, becomes eligible for patent protection. No worry about it. Not only engineering, all fields of science, all fields of engineering. If there occurs any innovation in these domains of engineering or science, then it becomes eligible for a patent protection. The next question I generally get from the student community is that, sir, my research work is not something very big, it's not something great. It's so simple. It's a simple innovation that I come out with. Do you think that this also stands for patent protection? Yes. Every innovations from safety pin to satellites are eligible for patent protection. And to substantiate my answer, I will show you this case law. What you are seeing on the screen is a simple paper clip. So what is it used for? To hold a bunch of papers together. Do you think this paper clip is the only tool available to hold a bunch of papers together? No. You have got stapler, you have got threads, you have got even gunduzi, you have got so many other options. But with all those options, there is one imbibed product. They damage the paper apart from holding it together. So this person actually was innovated in the year 1900 by Norway citizen. His name is John Weller. Do you think this paperclip to be a very big innovation? What is this? Just a piece of metal strip folded in one particular station. That's it, right? And you know, this paperclip was protected through patent by John Weller in the year 1900. And during 1900s, the term of patent protection is only 7 years, not like 20 years as of today. And just tell me, in that 7 years period, how much of revenue would have John Weller obtained by selling this paperclip? Any guesses? If you could see from the screen, it's almost 80 million US dollars. Would you believe it? A simple paperclip, a piece of metallic strip to hold a bunch of papers together, protected through patent. And in the 7 years period, this gem clip was able to get a revenue of 80 million, not rupees, US dollars. So if a paper clip could generate so much revenue, do you think Your research work will be in any manner smaller than this? Absolutely not. So do not have any hesitations in taking your research work to the next level of protection. After protection, it is to the level of commercialization. Once you think of commercialization, you think of starting up your own organization. It is called a startup, wherein the product protected through patent will help you out in developing your startup company also. So do not have any hesitation in taking your research work to the next level of protection. Fine. I'll give one more example. Recent one. Amazon. You all have heard about it. It all happened in 1999 when Amazon was developing it. What happened is that Amazon was slowly getting popular in 99 2000. And what happened is that their R&D team noticed one fine day that people are looking into the products of Amazon. They are choosing the products, and the products are moving to the shopping cart. But in the shopping cart, the products are lying idle. 60% of the products are lying idle in the shopping cart of Amazon. Do you think this is a good sign for Amazon? Unless otherwise people pay the money and purchase the product, they are not going to get the revenue. And if the products are lying idle in the shopping cart, Amazon thought there is some issue with the site. So they sent their marketing team to analyze what was the issue. If the products in the site is not good, people would not at all have selected it. It would not at all have gone to the shopping cart at all. So people are interested in the product, in purchasing the product. That's why they have clicked it. It has gone to the shopping cart, but they have not purchased it. So some issue is there which Amazon wanted to rectify. So their marketing team was sent to make a market survey as to why people thought of purchasing but are not purchasing the product. So to which the shocking report that the team received is that human mind is very fragile. See, the moment you choose a product in Amazon, the next step, what happens? I mean, this all happened in 99 2000. You need to enter your shipping details. Then you need to enter your billing details. Then you need to enter your card details. Later on, you need to enter your OTP details before purchasing the product. So you select the product goes into the shopping cart. And before you purchase the product, these are all the 4-5 steps you need to perform before getting it delivered. Human mind is very fragile. In these 4-5 steps of entering the personal details, people think, should I purchase this product now? Why should I not wait for some more time? Maybe New Year is about to come, during which I could get some more reduction in this price. Why should I be in a hurry? So this is what their mind keeps thinking while entering their personal details or entering their shipping details. And finally, before entering the OTP, they stop the process. And that's why 60% of the products are lying idle in the shopping cart of Amazon. So this is the problem they have identified. Now this problem was translated back to the R&D team of Amazon. And they were told, see, this is not fair. We should make business. To make the business, the products should be sold. So this is the problem. You come out with a solution, to which the R&D team of Amazon worked for 2-3 years, and they then came out with this one-time registration process. The first time you log into Amazon, you key in your username and password, to which the first time itself you key in all your shipping details, billing details, card details, every details you key in there. And a cookie gets activated. The cookie combines your username, password with your personal details and stores in the repository. The next time you key in your username, password, all these personal details are taken to the repository and put in the ready-made process. So this technology is called one-click patent, registered by Amazon. So the next moment, the next time you key in your username and password into Amazon, everything is taken from the repository. And the moment you choose your product, it goes in the shopping cart. In the shopping cart, if you click on the product, one click, you click on the product of the shopping cart, no billing details is asked, no shipping details is asked, no quantity is asked, nothing is asked. Immediately a OTP will appear in your mobile phone, and it is valid for only 20 or 30 seconds. If such things happen, your mind will have nothing else to think of but only to type in the OTP. That is what has happened. So people who were hesitant in purchasing a product are now not given the opportunity to think at all. That is implemented by the R&D team in the website of Amazon. And this technology implemented in the Amazon site is protected through patent by Amazon, and it is popularly called as one-click patent. Now tell me, is this problem only with Amazon? There are so many other online shopping cartels available, like Rediff, Flipkart, so many other organizations available. Won't they be facing the same sort of problem? Then what are they doing to overcome such issues? Every organization, they spend almost 1/3 of their profit for R&D. And if one company has come out with a solution to a particular problem, the other companies will not unnecessarily spend 1/3 of their profit on the already available solution. They will naturally go talk with Amazon, sign a license agreement with Amazon, and they will utilize this technology in their own websites also, to which Flipkart or Rediff Times will pay a nominal amount to Amazon for utilizing this patented technology. If at all, if they do not get this license agreement, and if they infringe upon this technology, this has happened. Barnes and Noble is an organization. They are selling books online in the US. In their website, they gave two modes of payment. One is the ordinary mode of payment, the other is an express mode of payment. The express mode of payment is nothing but Amazon's one-click technology. They have not named it as one-click technology. They have utilized it as express mode of payment. But internally, the technology is nothing but the exact replica of Amazon's one-click patent. So the R&D team of Amazon who are making a market watch found out that Barnes and Noble is misusing their patented technology in their website. So they issued a notice to Barnes and Noble to stop utilizing this express mode of payment. And also they initiated a suit against Barnes and Noble in December 1999. In US, the court case are all too costly, which not every firm could afford. So what Barnes and Noble did is that they came to an out-of-court settlement with Amazon, and also they signed an agreement with Amazon to utilize their one-click technology, for which Barnes and Noble pays every year a lump sum amount to Amazon. Now my point here is, actually Amazon came out with this technology for their own issue. They had some problem in their particular domain, to which their R&D team made some research work, came out with an innovative solution, and they protected it through patent and implemented it in their website, and they solved their problem. But the problem that they developed, the solution that they developed for their problem is bringing them revenues from all other competitor companies. So it's an additional income they are generating. One solution, multiple revenues. So this is the advantage of patent. You develop, but this solution might be of use to some other organization also, and they will pay you to utilize this technology. They will pay you only if you have your technology protected through patent. If it is not protected, then it is an open source. Anyone can use it. No one is going to pay you. That's why I keep on emphasizing that doing research is one aspect. After research, taking it to the next level of protection is the second aspect. And after protection, taking it to the final level of commercialization is the third aspect. This is a complete cycle. Innovate, protect, and commercialize. Fine. See, well-known universities generate one-third of their revenue from IT ventures. Earlier I told you that Amazon spent one-third of their profit for R&D. Likewise, revenue one-third for all universities comes from the IT. This is not any mere statement. I have just taken it from the IIT Mumbai website. You could see there that so many technologies that has been developed in-house at IIT Bombay were all clubbed together, and it has been shown here for licensing, which means that any organization, any person who are interested in utilizing this technology can approach IIT Bombay. They can read through the technology. IIT Bombay will provide the complete disclosure of the particular technology. You could read through it, and if you feel that that particular technology protected by IIT Bombay is of use to you, you could sign a license agreement with IIT Bombay, stating that every year you are going to utilize that particular technology of IIT Bombay for your benefit, and in return you are going to pay a lump sum amount to IIT Bombay. So I told you that one-third of revenue is coming from IT for academic institutions. IIT Bombay is already into that particular arena. You could see their energy and environment, healthcare, ICT, manufacturing, and other technologies. So many technologies being developed by IIT Bombay, and IIT Bombay is ready to offer all these technologies for licensing. Any person interested can utilize it. So my humble request is that even your organization should look to harnessing your particular research works, protect it, and take it to this level of IIT Bombay. Go for commercialization through licensing. That is the ultimate goal of any research work, so that it should be of use to you as well as the public at large. Yeah, now we will look into the intricacies or the requirements, basic requirements of a patent. If at all you come out with an innovation, what should you do to get a patent? This is what we are going to see in the next few slides. And which is becoming eligible for a patent? Any invention will become eligible for a patent. Say for example, a machine, an apparatus, a device, a system, or a methodology, a process, or a manner of manufacture, or by the application of this methodology in the particular system, you come out with a particular product. All these three are becoming eligible for patent protection. We call them as inventions. To put things very simple, see, I have got this particular pen here. To manufacture this pen, I need a machine, right? That machine, if it is a new machine, it becomes eligible for patent protection. In the machine, to manufacture this pen, I have to employ a particular process, a methodology. If that particular process is also new, then the process can also be protected through patent. And finally, in the machine, through the application of the new process, I come up with this new pen. And this pen is also eligible for protection under patent. So there are three options available: either the system, or the methodology implemented in the system, or the final product that I am getting from the system through the application of the methodology. If there is innovation in any one or two or three, then it all becomes eligible for patent protection. Fine. To get a patent, I already told you there are three criteria: novelty, non-obviousness, and usefulness. So your innovations should pass through these three doors to get a patent protection. Let me take each and every door and talk to you. See, novelty, or to put things simple, new. If I say this shirt that I am wearing is new, will you accept it? Absolutely not. Because it's not mandatory for you to accept all words of mine. Fine. Now what I do is that I give you a receipt, a bill, on which my name is there, today's date is there, and in the description it is mentioned as a shirt. If I am producing you that particular receipt, will you then accept that this shirt that I am wearing is new? May not be. Why? Because that might be of this shirt or might be of some other shirt. Okay, fine. Now what I do is that I take a photograph of this shirt and impregnate it on the receipt, and then I give you. Will you now accept that this shirt of mine is new? Yes. Now you will accept that this shirt is new. Just to accept that the shirt that I am wearing is new, I need to show you so many evidences. If that is the case, if we want to accept that your innovation, your invention, your research work is new, don't we expect any evidences? Yes, we need two evidences in determining that your innovation is new. What are those two evidences? First evidence is that your research should not have been published anywhere, either in India nor anywhere in the world. Second, it should not have been in public use in India. These are the two conditions we look into before deciding that your innovation is new. That it should not have been published anywhere, neither in India nor in the world. Also, it should not be in public use in India. That's why we suggest you that if you come out with any innovations, do not have the urge of immediately publishing it in the magazines or conferences, because such publications in the magazines and conferences will kill this condition. Your own publication will kill the novelty in your own invention. That's why we suggest you to go for a patent filing first, and then go for a patent journal publications. Fine. 99% of the innovations that we see in our day-to-day life are clearing this particular door. Novelty is not a big issue, but the second door, inventive step, which means we check for the technical advancement or economic significance or both in your innovation. If the first door, if we find that your innovation is novel, only then we check the second aspect of inventive step. What is this technical advancement? What is this economic significance? Sir, I'm not able to get these aspects. Could you explain me a bit in elaborate? Yes, sure. What do you see on the screen here? Is a first innovated ballpoint pen. It's a piece of two metallic strips. They are being welded at the boundaries, and at the middle you have a cavity for inserting the writing cartridge. This is the first innovated patent protected ballpoint pen. Do you have any resemblance of that pen to the pen that I am showing you on the camera? You could at least give me some 6 differences, right, between these two pens. Those 6 differences, technical improvisations on the pen, is called non-obviousness. Technical advancement. I'll give you the other pen. What is this? To understand the importance of this pen, you should go to the period when laptops and PCs are not as popular as they are today. During which period, if you want to write an article, people will put a condition that this article should be within 1500 words. You take some bunches of paper, take a pen, start writing on the paper. 2-3 papers you cover, then you have a doubt. Oh, how many words I covered so far? They have put a restriction of 1500. Have I reached it? So you will put your pen down, go to the first page, start counting the words 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will be only 1000 words. Then you start writing, your idea gets struck. So to overcome this problem, that people, research scholars, should not waste their time in counting the words they have written. And engineer has come out with this pen. This pen automatically counts the number of words you write. That is what is shown here. It's a counter circuit imbibed by the pen. So you take this pen, you put the nib on the paper, write a word, then take the pen out of the paper. So the pen counts this as 1. Counter starts and counter stops. The next word you wanted to write, you again, the nib touches the paper, the counter starts. So this fashion, the number of words you write is being automatically counted by the pen. And the number of counts is displayed at the top of the pen. You have got an LCD display there. The total number of words that you have written is displayed there. So now tell me, the earlier pen that I showed you and the pen that you see on the screen, both are pen, but would you not identify the drastic innovation, drastic improvisation in the technology? This is what we called as inventive step of non-obviousness. This is also a pen. This pen has got the RGB color sensor at its top end. And if you point those sensors at any article, those sensors will sense the color of the particular article. And the ink, RGB ink in the pen will accordingly mix itself. And the exact replica of the color is reproduced at the nib. This is also a pen. You see how many pens, how many varieties of pens you could see. Every pen is unique in its own design. And if you are comparing this pen with all the other existing pen, technically you could tell me the difference, right? In this pen, there is the presence of RGB color sensor. That's the first technical improvement. Second, the inks, there are 3 inks in the pen. Depending upon the color sense, the inks, they get themselves mixed. And that ink is replicated. So technically, I could find at least 3 differences. One is the presence of an RGB color sensor in the pen. 3 varieties of inks in the liquid mode in the pen. Depending upon the color sense, the inks, they mix themselves. So this is the 3 technical advancement as compared to the other existing pens. These technical advancement is called the inventive step of non-obviousness. So if you come out with an innovation, what we do is that if you have innovated something in the mobile phone, then we will compare your innovation with all the mobile phones available in the art. See if any of the mobile phone is replicating what we have innovated. If your innovation is not being replicated in any of the mobile phones till date, then the second door is also ascertained, and we declare that your innovation is inventive. So first door is novelty, second door is inventive step. As I told you, 99% of the innovations clear the first door of novelty, but 99% of the innovations are blocked here. Inventive step. This is where most of the inventions get blocked. And the last one is industrial applicability, which our engineering innovations will very easily clear. And as I already told you that 90% of the applications that we see on a day-to-day basis are only improvements of already existing patented technologies. To show that, I will give you this example. It's a stem. The stem that we are currently using now, it has got a light in their base. Apart from the light, you have got pinhole cameras on the stems, as well as a high precision speakers. This stem is a patented technology. This is patented by an Australian. His name is called E. Cartman. And now there will be a general question arising in your mind. Putting a simple LED light in a stem, or a pinhole camera on a stem, or a high precision camera on a stem, will this make it eligible for patent protection? This question will naturally come into your mind, because it came into my mind also. But do you know what makes the stem innovative? Right from our college days, we have been taught that for a light to glow, the circuit should close, isn't it? In this case, when the veils are on the stems, when the circuit is closed, will the lights glow? No. Only when the veils are removed from the stems, when the circuit is open, the lights glow. So what we have been taught in our day-to-day engineering subject has not been as such implemented here. It's out of the box thinking. Till date, we have been taught that a light to glow, the circuit has to close. But E. Cartman has implemented it in an out-of-box way. The circuit is open for the light to glow, which makes this stem patent eligible. And E. Cartman has protected the stem around the world. In almost 136 countries of the world, he has protected this particular stem. So now I have told you two aspects. One is the innovation, incorporating light which glows when the veils are removed from the stem. This is the innovation. This innovation, he took it to the next level of protection around 136 countries of the world. And now comes the third aspect, commercialization. You know, BCCI as well as ICC, they wanted to utilize the stems, and naturally the person whom they have to approach is E. Cartman, because he is the patent holder of this technology. So both of them have to approach E. Cartman to get his permission. Yes, E. Cartman also was willing to give it, but one pair of stems he offered for 25 lakh rupees. And you know, for a cricket match to be conducted, there should be 2 pairs of stems. And also, they will have another 2 pairs of stems as a standby. So for a match to be executed, you need to have 4 pairs of stems, which means BCCA is paying 1 crore rupee to E. Cartman for this stems. This patented technology, E. Cartman is selling for 1 crore rupee. But the business mind of E. Cartman doesn't stop here, end here. These stems now are made up of fiber plastic. So at whatever speed you throw the ball, the stems are not going to break. So once BCCA or ICC is purchasing the stems from E. Cartman for 1 crore rupees, they can utilize it for as many number of matches as possible. So the total market value of the stems is 1 crore for ICC and 1 crore for BCCA, isn't it? So only 2 crores is the total market value of this particular patented technology. But E. Cartman thought in an innovative way. What he did is that he executed a license agreement with BCCA as well as ICC that he will give 4 pairs of stems for 1 crore rupees for conducting a particular match. At the end of the match, BCCA as well as ICC has to return back these 4 pairs of stems back to E. Cartman, which means E. Cartman has not sold the stems. He has given the stems on rental basis, and the rent for the 4 pairs of stems is 1 crore rupees. So this is how the business mind in you should work. You should be intelligent enough to innovate. You should be also you should be intelligent enough to maximum commercialize your innovation for your benefit as well as the benefit of the society. Because here BCCI had a very bad reputation in making false decisions. This sort of stems have drastically improved the reputation of BCCA. So e-Cartman's innovation has not only helped e-Cartman to generate revenue, it has also helped BCCA as well as ICC. So take e-Cartman as your source of inspiration. Utilize your knowledge, what you have been learning for the past 4 years or what you are going to learn for the next few years. Apply the subject that you have been learning to come up with engineering innovations that is of help to you as well as the society at large. And if you come out with such innovations, then you could start your own company as a startup company and build on your business. Thank you. And okay, these are the basic information that you need to know with respect to patents. Fine. You are all ready. Your innovation is at your hand. You want to protect it now. Fine. Now tell me, sir, what should I do to protect my research work through patent? Yes, that is what I'm going to tell you in the next few slides. If I ask you who innovated the mobile telephone, unanimously your answer will be Graham Bell. But what if I say Elisha Gray is also a person who has equally contributed in the technology of the telephone? This is something weird that has happened in the world. In the year 1876, I think in April 10 of 1876, both Alexander Graham Bell and Elisha Gray, both of them went to the US Patent Office and they filed an application of converting the voice signal into electrical signal, transmitting it over a wired medium and converting back the electrical signal into a voice signal. Alexander Graham Bell filed this application maybe morning 10 o'clock, whereas Elisha Gray filed it evening 4 o'clock. A matter of 6 hours, just a matter of 6 hours has turned history. Now nobody knows that Elisha Gray has equally contributed on the technology of a telephone. We all know only about Alexander Graham Bell. See how patent has changed history. That should not happen in your case also. That's why we have got an option called provisional application, wherein time is very important with respect to protection. If you have come out with your innovation and you have not completed it, you are midway of your innovation. You probably know what would be the solution you will be attaining at the end of the day. Then don't wait till you reach the complete innovation. We suggest you to go for a provisional application. Nothing, just take 1 or 2 sheets of paper. Tell what was the problem you were working upon in a para or 2. The next 2 or 3 paragraphs just tell us what would be the probable solution you will be attaining at the end of the day, maybe after 6 or 7 months more on your research work. This 2-3 sheets of paper is more than sufficient to go for a patent filing. This paper, you could take it to the patent office, file as a provisional application. The day you file this application, we award you the date, the time, to the minute, to the second, we award you. But from the filing of the provisional application, you have got only 12 months time. Within 12 months, you need to complete your research and file your complete specification. If by any chance you miss out on this 12 months, there are provisions to extend it, but not utilize those options. Try to finish your research within 12 months and file your complete specification. Only then your provisional specification will be valid. Fine. There are 5 types of applications which we have as an ordinary application, conventional application, PCT application, divisional patent operation. See, I'll put things very simple here. If you want to protect your innovation only in India, you think, sir, my product is having a good market only in India. I'm not worried about other countries. I want to ordinary application mode. Sometimes, for some innovations, apart from India, in US also it will have very good market. So then you have to protect in these two countries where the product is having a very good market. In all those countries, it is mandatory to protect. So that if at all somebody duplicates it, you will have a chance to take action against them. If you think that your innovation is having a very good market in India as well as in US, in two countries, then we would suggest you to go for the conventional application. In some innovations, like e-cartment, almost in 136 countries, my research, my innovation has got a very good popularity. It will have a good business in all the countries. I want to protect it in almost all the countries in the world. If you have that as your intention, then we will suggest you to go for the PCT, National Case Application. So, as of today, it is more than sufficient for you to know that there are three modes of filing an application. It's an ordinary application, conventional application, PCT application, depending upon in whichever country you want to get a patent protection. Now we will think of only the ordinary application, and if at all the situation arises, we will talk about the other scenarios. For an ordinary application, I told you we need a complete report of your innovation. The complete report, we will read through it, what you are filing. You will understand your innovation. Based upon our understanding of your innovation, we will make a search, we call it as a pair search, to ascertain whether your innovation is novel, inventive. If we do not understand your invention, your research work, then how could we perform a meaningful search? So to understand your research work, you should provide us as elaborate as possible your research work. So to provide an elaborate paper of your research work, these are all the minimum titles that I have been showing you on the screen, are the minimum ones you should utilize in drafting your application. Right from the title, the uses of the invention, the prior art, the drawbacks in the prior art, the comparison of the prior art and your invention. Then comes the summary of your invention and the detailed description of your invention, and finally the claims. So this patent application is a techno-legal document. Technically, you are very strong, but there lies some legal aspects also, and the legality comes in the form of claims. Yes, to draft a claim, this is the basic structure of drafting a claim. There should be a preamble, there should be a body, and the preamble and body should be linked by a linking word. Claim is, see, I will give you some simple example as to how a claim should be drafted for this pen. I have innovated this particular pen. Now I want to protect this pen through patent, and I want to write a patent specification. And technical details of this pen you are well aware of, you could very well write about it. But to write a claim for this pen, how do you do that? Preamble is part, I could generally make it preamble as a writing instrument. I need not be very specific as a ballpoint pen. It will be very wide as possible. Preamble for the pen will be a writing instrument. Then the body of the pen is that the writing instrument here comprises of a cap, a cylindrical barrel, a writing cartridge. Writing cartridge is inserted into the cylindrical barrel, and the writing cartridge is not exposed to the naked eye. This is a very bare minimum claim I could write for a pen. At this stage, I don't want to talk too much about the claim drafting. That will put you under too much of dilemma. Once a particular day will arrive, you will have your innovation at hand. You will be in a position to file for a patent application. At that particular day, with your innovation at hand, I will be able to guide you in published in the journal, in the gazette. What all the details will be published is that your name, your address, the title of your innovation, the abstract of your innovation, and the primary figure of your innovation. All these aspects will be published in our gazette. After publication, it is mandatory for you to file a request for examination. Once the request for examination is filed, we take up your research work. We read through completely, we understand your research, we make a prior art search, and if at all there occurs any documents resembling your technology, we will generate a first examination report. We will send the report to you stating, gentlemen, so and so documents, so and so journals, so and so conferences are all disclosing the technology that you have applied for patent. So look into it, give us an opinion as to how these technologies or how these journals are different from your particular innovation. So this is what we send you. We call it as the first examination report. From the first examination report, you are given 6 months, extendable by 3 more months. Total 9 months we give. Within that 9 months, you should return back, give us a reply as to how your innovation is different from what are all the documents, journals that we have cited to you. If at all those reply is satisfactory, then it will straight away go for a grant of patent. But if your reply is not satisfactory, then we will call you for a one-to-one hearing. It's a video conferencing hearing nowadays, no personal hearings. One fine day, we will schedule a hearing. You could come on VC, explain us in verbal as to how your innovation is different from what are all the documents or what are all the journals we have cited you. And if there are any suggestions, we would suggest you could make those corrections in your documents, you could refile it, and then it will go for a grant. If at all you are not able to satisfy these 3 criteria of novelty or inventive or industry applicability, then naturally your application will be refused. So this is how your innovation is being processed inside the office. Apart from that, there are 2 other criteria. One is the pre-grant representation, other is the post-grant opposition. It's not that only the people inside the patent office are judging upon your innovations. Once your journal, entire society, everyone in the world will look into it. And if at all someone else feel that what you have applied for a patent is already existing, then that particular person will come and oppose the grant of a patent to you through pre-grant representation. If that is the case, he has to give us the evidence. We will receive the evidence, read through it, and if the evidence is valid, then we will send the evidence to you and ask an explanation from you. This process, which is being initiated by a person, any third person, opposing the grant of patent to you, is called pre-grant representation, which is also followed before the grant of a patent. Suppose we award the patent to you. After the award of patent, within 1 year from the date of award of patent, any person who is interested can come and file a post-grant opposition stating that the patent office has illegally granted a patent to this technology which is not worth giving a patent. That is called post-grant opposition. So the general public is given 2 chances, one at the pre-grant stage, the other at the post-grant stage, to oppose the grant of patent for your innovation. So be extremely cautious before filing an application for patent, because not only we from the patent office are looking into your innovations, the society at large is looking into it, and if it is a malicious innovation, they will come and oppose the grant of patent to you. So take extra care in filing an application. Before filing an application, make as many search as possible in the databases, predominantly in the patent databases, so that you will have a concrete idea as to where the problem is solution you thought of innovating, and is that solution already available in the art? If at all it is available in the art, how could you work on the existing technologies to, to come out with an innovative and better solutions for the same problem, so that it will have an higher commercial value to the existing technologies in the art? And if you have decided in coming out with such an innovation, protect it through patent, and finally commercialize it for your benefit as well as the benefit of the society at large. So I have told you about this publications, everything. The problem, that the thing that I have to tell you is that fees. So what are the total amount, total money that I should pay to obtain a patent certificate for my innovation? If you are an individual, say if me as Tyagaraja Gupta is going to file an application for a patent, I am a natural person. If I am going to file an application, then mandatorily I need to file two forms. Form 1 is application form, and Form 18 is request for examination. And for Form 1, I need to pay 1,600, and for Form 18, it's 4,000. Altogether, it's 5,600 rupees. Suppose if you are filing from Prathyusha College, then you are not considered as a natural person. You are considered as an other than natural person, OMP. In such situation, for the same Form 1, you need to pay 8,000 rupees, and for Form 18, you need to pay 22,000 rupees. So we have got two categories here: natural person and other than natural person. As an individual, maybe if you as a research scholar, you club with your guide, so you two people are together filing an application, both of you are considered as natural person only. Unless otherwise you club with your Prathyusha Engineering College, it is not considered as an OMP. You could have even 100% individual person